Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is the Intercontinental Group of Awesome Game Day. We are so named because we're awesome and we cross a couple of continents. We have folks in Europe and in the Americas, and we get together on Sundays to play games. This continues our Power Beyond Doubt Atlantica City series that we began. There are a couple of weeks that I took off, but everybody else kept playing, and I'm glad that they did. Sabine stepped behind the screen, as it were, although there's not really a screen, although we're all technically looking at monitors, and isn't that a screen? You're all GMs. Congratulations. Power Beyond Doubt is a grown-up masks powered by the apocalypse game that Jen has written, and we quite enjoy. We've created together a superhero city we call Atlantica City, where it is a combination of regular ass humans, and those humans have found out that there are many alien species out in the galaxy because they answered the call from NASA sending out ships. People showed up. There's evidently no prime directive, so they came in and said, "Hey, Cape Canaveral, you guys have space travel. Here we are." And Atlantica City also is the nexus point where Atlanteans, who had been here all along, we come to find, decided, oh, hey, yeah, if aliens are here now, then we should probably let you know we've been here all along and negotiate any treaties or the like that have happened. So we have these three powers. We have the two native species for Earth, the humans, who all only look slightly different from each other, but can be good enough for wars to happen. We have the Atlanteans, who have very, very many different shapes and sizes, mostly because Alex likes drawing weird things and we're using them. And then we have aliens who also are alien and very different. And all three of them live in this city called Atlantica City that might, if you look at maps or if you've played a certain Grand Theft Auto game, might look a lot like Miami. In my head canon, it was Miami, and they just renamed the city to show how welcome they were to Atlanteans, and also to get a fresh start with the new embassy, alien embassy, which maybe they'll call it extraplanetary rather than alien. I don't know. Yeah. So that's all the preamble. We have a super team that don't really have a headquarters. I don't know if they really have a name, but they do cool things, and they all know each other. And you guys have been involved in a few adventures in the past and in the present. And so let's go around the horn to remind everybody of the characters that we have on tap. We're going to start from the right-hand side of our character keeper, which means that the game's creator, Jen, if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your character, please.
Hello, I'm Jen. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing as Theo Regenhard, also known as Shinnok, who also uses she, her pronouns. She's an untamed playbook, meaning that she's, got a little bit of Wolverine or Vixen energy. But she's not Vixen, she's Shinnok, although she is a Vixen, of course.
She is indeed. Thank you very much, Jen. Next up is Tyler.
Hi there, I'm Tyler, he, him pronouns, and I am playing Professor Maxwell Banheim, who is also Herd the Hunter. Herd is the semi-deific person of folklore who Maxwell discovered in a standing stones in Wales, and now kind of inhabits his body, and he can transform. Hearn is the paragon. He is super strong, super tough. He flies. He does all sorts of cool things. And occasionally he calls his one member of the Wild Hunt, Kesweir, to come and join him. Otherwise, Kesweir is Maxwell's dog.
Otherwise, he's just a dog. That's awesome. Thank you very much, Tyler. Alex, you are up.
Hi, I'm Alex. I use he, him, and I'm playing Blossom Abibi, who uses she, her. She is the changed. She used to be a normal human, and now she is kind of analogous to the Thing, if Thing was a garden rather than a rock. So she's sad about being a garden rather than being a rock.
I think
by an alien ecosystem, to be more specific.
she might be in the lead for saddest PC. I don't know.
There is no competition.
Speaking
Take that
competition,
how you want.
Sabine, you are up. Please introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Hi, my name is Dean. I use any pronouns. I'm playing Miguel Morales, Oscuro, he, him pronouns. I will gladly leave the title of saddest PC in the game to Alex because he seems to really need it. Oscuro, Miguel used to be the lead guitar player of a punk band, a very successful punk band, until at one concert, the audience got taken over by a mind controller and everybody went and robbed the museum. And he nearly died in that whole escapade. And ever since, he has been taking on, well, he's a sorcerer, he's a sorcerer born, but he's taken up sorcery for real this time in the last 2 or 3 years, I think. 3 years he's been training himself, and recently then went out and started trying to find where the mastermind was to bring him to justice. And in the course of this, he became aware of that network of super powered people, and he was like, sure, bringing justice to the city, why not? Let's do it. I can do this. I can work with these people, because I think he was a bit lonely running around and just punching evildoers or Nazis. That's not a very fulfilling way of living. So yeah, he's here.
The victims, the innocent victims of Atlantica City cried out for justice. And Oscuro answered, why not? That's the premise for our game.
It's not that dramatic usually about that. And he uses more expletives in his speaking voice. So
nice. I love it. Okay. Well, we're gonna as well, you guys have been playing for the last couple weeks. I want to prime and get back into this because I've been away. I'd like to start off with a evening scene for Blossom. Oh, before I do that, does anyone have any start of session moves? I think we have at least one.
I do.
Start of session. Okay, let's hit that. Always away at the start of session, roll with power. Some time has passed if everybody's cool with that.
Okay. So power. I have 1. Rolling. Oh, I got a 6.
Got a 6 on always away. On a miss, you hold 1, but someone has a dastardly plan just for you. Can you write that down? Dastardly plan for either Prof or Hearn. Excellent. And then I see here in the chat that Blossom also has a start of session. What is that start of session move?
That is the they don't really mean it.
I did just say time passes.
Yeah, it's
That is, by the way, Jen, that is such a harshly named move. I love it. They don't really mean it. They don't really like you. They don't really love you.
Well, good news, that got me to the level up. So
bad news is that appears to be a 6.
That, yeah.
Okay.
They don't really want to hang out with me. They're just.
Oh my! On a miss, you shed 2 touchstones.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Well, which two touchstones are you shedding?
Are you making me choose? Ah,
Okay, you can choose one and I'll choose one. How's that
okay,
sound?
all right.
Now remember, this doesn't mean that your relationship is deleted. It just means that things are kind of dicey right now, and you can't necessarily rely on them internally or externally for that bonus support. So,
Okay.
so use that second column to mark whether you got them.
I was going to do the crossing out. Like
Oh, the strike through?
strike through. Yeah, that was.
Cool. Whom of your a couple
I
of these
put
touchstones
Nana.
are Oh no, you've chosen Nana, baby.
No,
Oh
Nana.
my.
I think it'd probably be more from my side. I mean, she's there, but I think maybe I got annoyed at some like her trying to help, which she probably had the right advice, but you know,
She usually
you
does.
don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. No.
Jen, I have two solid candidates for touchstones to be lost by Blossom or shed by Blossom for now. I need our ultimate deciding mechanic. Can you please flip your magical coin for me and tell me what you get?
All
I've
right.
already transcribed.
So I've got green and I've got red. Green will be heads and red will be tails.
Okay, that seems good.
Green.
Green means heads. Okay, I have now noted which touchstone you have lost. You don't know yet, Alex.
Dun dun dun.
Okay.
But you will find out very, very soon. Excellent.
Okay.
So what's great is that I had planned on starting off with a night scene of Blossom. We're in Blossom's room, which, as I recall, there were like pictures of Blossom before the change, one where she's like hugging with Brienne, your estranged friend, who you stopped contacting, stopped reaching out to, or maybe Brienne just ghosted you. We don't know for sure if it's true or if it's Blossom's poor self-esteem. And on the counter, maybe there are some recent test results from Dr. Handsome, the doctor who does your weekly mandatory checkups at the center, the Kennedy. Rich forgot the name. KTC.
Terrestrialization Center.
Thank you. I knew that I was going to blow that, and I did it right off the bat. So it's over and done with.
You got it out of the way.
I did. And we see that Blossom, like, do you sleep on a bed on the floor? You're kind of giganto. How does that work? I can't remember if we discussed if you still sleep on a bed or if you sleep on the floor. How does that go?
I think as much as she finds it kind of, I don't know, reminds her of her condition, I think practicality wise, I think it is like literally kind of like a soil bed, because
so there's like a wooden,
yeah, because I mean
frame.
Otherwise basically the wood flooring is just getting destroyed by sprouting plant life, and having it in a soil bed kind of minimizes that spread to.
Wow, you sleep in a soil bed. That is so cool. That is so weird.
She doesn't get cold she can get cold, but not like just,
as long as she needs blankets.
Human extremes of cold and warm aren't really that affecting to her.
Except tonight, Blossom, when you lay down in your soil bed to rest, your forearm starts itching. And I mean, you don't really look at the picture. Do you have fingernails?
Yeah.
Okay, so you try to scratch at it. as you're half awake, half asleep, that kind of stimulus response thing, and eventually you're looking down. You've dug a few rents into your forearm. You see a few little flowers kind of grown up in those little gashes, the gouges that you made in your forearm, but it's still it burns and itches. You haven't had this, or at least haven't had this in quite a while that you recall. This feels weird, and there's a little ringing in your ears as well. This kind of thing feels like a headache's coming on, but it doesn't ever fully manifest. Just it's like right on the edge.
I think I like sit up or sit on perched on the edge of the kind of flower bed thing, or the soil bed, and like I take the Uskuru got me a like tablets to use as a phone, but in my scale for my fingertips, and like with a really one of those really solid child-proof cases. Nice. I think I'm like looking at it. I've scrolled my contacts to Dr. Handsome, and I'm like, it takes me a while to kind of actually send the message before, like, you know, to actually even start to send the message. But then I'm like scratching at the itch again. I'm like, no, this is, you know, this is definitely classed in new symptoms. I send a kind of middle of the night, I send a message to Dr. Handsome saying like what the symptoms are.
Cool. So you reach out to Dr. Handsome, and he responds via text, of course, because that's the most inconvenient way for you to deal with it. His text says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your discomfort? 1 being a minor irritation, 10 being extreme discomfort.
I think
So I'll tell you, it's like a 9. So what do you answer?
I say 3. I say 3. I might be overreacting.
Okay. He texts back a 3, and very quickly after he responds back, I've cleared my 9 o'clock. Please come in and we will take a look at it. Good night. And you're still left with that burning in your arm and that ringing.
Through my contacts again a little bit. I kind of linger on Brienne and then just like close the phone and put it aside and lie back and just stare at the ceiling until hopefully I fall asleep. I don't know.
Okay. We see you fitful as you lay on your bed of soil, and then we see another panel, and it's looking at the window, and we can see you, just the silhouette, the shape of Blossom moving. And then we see that in your backyard is someone watching your window. They're not human. It's hard to tell from the shadows, but they appear to have green skin. They're wearing some kind of night vision goggles, perhaps. They're watching. And then they look down at a little tablet and writing in a very alien language some notes. Oscuro, what are you doing this evening? Are you hunting down miscreants? Are you dealing with your demons on your own?
I think since I've got a twisted knee, I'm probably not hunting down my demons. I think for this evening, what I'll do is, yeah, I might either join my group therapy or I might go to I go to the thing, the hospital. I think hospital. It's a mental hospital where
Mhm.
they keep Marisol, just to see if she has made any progress. There's been a
Oh,
breakthrough or
well,
something.
it's late when we pick up here. So
Oh,
is this a
okay.
thing where Oscuro or Miguel just sneaks
Mm.
in?
No,
Because
he
they
wouldn't
don't
sneak
allow
in.
visitors this late.
No, okay, then in that case, he wouldn't do that. I think in that case, what he's doing is probably he's just, do we do B moves now or later?
You could strike off with a B move. What were you interested in exploring?
I think since it's late, I might go to the stadium and try to put some. Oh no, I know what I'm doing. This is better. I will go to my mentor and ask him how to do some words for that fucking stadium, because what I did there, I shouldn't have been able to do it. I shouldn't have been
Oh,
able to
yeah.
take over the sound system. That was, they really fucked up the security there. And if I can do that, anybody can. I'm not that great. So
Okay.
I need someone to tell me how to. I don't know how to do words. I'm terrible at learning stuff from books. So yeah, I'm going and pestering my mentor and hoping he won't do too many commands about my knee thing there.
And your mentor, have we seen your
No,
mentor on
no,
screen?
no, we haven't. He's in the
Isidro?
NPCs tab. Isidro, yes.
Isidro. Okay.
Mhm.
And Isidro was a student of your mother.
Yeah.
Where is he in the city?
He lives at my mother's mansion, actually. He uses her
Oh.
library for his graduate work in sorcery. He's a sorcerer as well, so that's why he's kind of mentoring me in exchange for the whole access to the house and library and the stuff there.
I imagine that as you enter do we start off with him at a library? Do we go that no, we're going to go against type, because my temptation is to go very Dr. Strangey with him in the library, but I'm going against type here. So you go into the library and you find that there are a stack of books that are opened to various pages as if he was in the middle of researching something. But you hear in the distance the sound of laughter and a laugh track accompanying that laughter. When you follow it, you see the blue light cast against the back wall as he's watching Nick at Night.
Okay. I think I'll knock, and I think I'd ring, but I've got keys, so I got in and I knock.
Of course. Come in, Miguel. You see that he's seated, like his legs crisscross applesauce on the couch, one of your mother's favorite couches, and he's eating a little bit of popcorn, and the huge screen is like showing an old Nick and Night laugh track 80s comedy. So it's not letterboxed, it's just the pan and scan. So there are these huge black bars on the left and right sides, and you see the little slightly wavy figures of it as the TV tries to upscale this ancient comedic program. Looks over. You look like shit.
Yeah, I know. I have a question. Is this a bad time?
Reaches over, picks up the remote, stares at it for a little bit, hits the wrong button, hits the correct button to mute it, puts the remote down. Not at all.
Oh, you froze. Damn it.
I froze?
No, I froze. Somebody froze. Anyway,
Okay.
I'm back.
He mutes the TV and says, not at all.
yeah, so I'll limp over,
You're
sit
limping.
down.
Do you need me to heal you?
I twisted my knee, it's fine.
Those two statements are incongruous.
Yeah, I twisted my knee, it's still fine. Look, I've got a question though. I mean, you can heal me. I'd
Sit
be
here.
grateful. Yeah.
He directs you to sit at the coffee table. Then he leans forward, and if you're wearing pants, he pull up the pant leg to take a look at the knee.
And there's a
What is-
brace on it.
All right. What is your question?
The stadium, Johnny Cash Stadium. I was there recently and very ill advised. I took over the sound system and I shouldn't have been able to do that.
Did you murder that man?
I did not murder anyone. No, I did
Oh.
not murder that man. That man, that man. No, I didn't.
All right.
No.
Took over the
I
sound
just-
system, you say.
Yeah.
Clasps his hands and rubs them together. Then puts his hands on either side of your knee, and you feel a burning sensation around the joint, and you feel him working to move the meniscus back behind your little knee bone and stitch together the ligaments that are strained, possibly torn. It hurts.
Yeah,
What do you do?
I'll tell him. You know this fucking hurts, right?
Yes, I know.
Okay. Can you hurry it up somewhat, maybe?
Do you like to limp?
I don't like to hurt much.
Which is more important, limping or hurting? Choose.
Yeah, well, do your thing.
I thought you liked pain, Miguel.
I do not like pain. What the fuck makes you say that?
Just everything that you do.
Just comes with the thing, right?
Does it? Fascinating.
We're done yet.
Nearly.
Mm.
Be patient, or I will take my time.
Fine, thank you.
You
Ow.
feel your toes start to tingle, that little tingle, like you hit your funny bone kind of thing. And then the feeling goes away, and like it's as if your entire leg just dropped out.
Is that supposed to happen?
I got tired of your whining. This probably won't be permanent.
Great.
He sits back. You took over the sound system. That's impressive.
It's not impressive. It shouldn't have happened. That's what they should have proved the sound system against tampering to what happened.
You think that the administration for Johnny Cash Stadium should have the capability, the wherewithal, and the drive and resources to counter their sound system against magic?
Yeah. I mean, of course, that's what was used last time. Why don't they go and hire somebody? And if they need the cash, I have cash. It's not the problem. Problem is that they took a lot of security. They paid a lot for securing that stadium, but they didn't secure it against magic. So
They didn't. That's true.
Kind
shame.
of bullshit. Anyway, I thought that, my mother did a lot of wards. I have no idea how to do that. How do I do that? Do I bind spirits to the sound system? Do I conjure new ones to bind to the sound system? What do I do here?
All right. And so it sounds as if you have brought your current problem to an ally seeking help or information.
That
Why don't you go
seems-
ahead and roll? No stat,
Oh.
but touchstones can still boost you.
Okay, I'm just rolling. No stat, that's fine. Yeah, that's a 1 and 3. So I get an XP, right?
You do. Congratulations.
Yay, my second XP. Cool. Yeah, that doesn't go well though.
I'll take care of it. Is there anything else?
I would like to know how to do this though. If I can't do it now, it's fine. I get it. I'm not very good at this, but you're supposed to be my mentor. You're
I
supposed
am.
to teach me stuff.
I am. Your mother bade me to do so. She did not bind me to do so.
Yeah, but come on, man.
You have
You know what?
all of the potential your mother. Go ahead, Miguel.
You know what? Fuck this. I figured it out myself. You won't help me? Fine.
When you forgive yourself for what was completely out of your power, you'll be a better sorcerer.
You don't get to tell me what I need to forgive myself for, what I don't need to
I'm
forgive
sorry.
myself
A few
for.
minutes ago, a different Miguel told me that I was his fucking mentor.
Yeah, for
Could you talk to
sorcery.
that Miguel, perhaps?
If I'm supposed to be my, I
Picks up
can't
the
use it.
remote and he unmutes the TV.
Yeah, Miguel stands up and
Starts turning it up.
Starts stumbling because the leg has no feeling in it. But anyway, thank you for your advice. As always. Yeah, I'm leaving. Have fun in my mother's house.
And by the time that you exit this little den, the feeling in your leg has returned and your knee feels just as good as the other knee. Doesn't feel better, like better than the other knee. It feels
would be weird.
whole.
Okay, cool, nice. Fine, I'll do a backflip just to see if I can.
You nail it. It looks badass.
Doesn't need to look badass, it just needs to work.
It does both things.
And I'll go and somewhere and where they won't throw me out for playing sad music, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe I'll go to the university and hang around there. They don't throw out people for playing sad music. Usually.
Cool. So I saw, well, I work with Jen, so of course I saw that we now have a cool pick and we always had cool deets on Theo's alien roommate, Dulcis. So I think we should do a morning scene with Theo and Dulcis. Dulcis being an alien roommate who loves movies and filmmaking, an amateur editor and photographer, and kind of looks like a space goblin. How tall are they?
I think that they're like 4'11".
Nice. But if you look at the picture, they're also wearing some kind of like exoskeleton. So I imagine that the exoskeleton allows them to be near average human height. But when they're running around the apartment, maybe they're,
Yeah,
the 4'11".
It's their barefoot time.
Yes, the barefoot time. We hear the slap of goblin feet that someone has created a delightful onomatopoeia for to put on the panel there. And what is the weird not breakfast food that Dulcis enjoys as breakfast?
Weird not breakfast food. It's like super duper dinnery.
Somebody have a super duper dinnery.
Like a soup noodle kind of thing.
Oh yeah, lifting like some of that ramen cup of soup type stuff. So you come in, we have the aromatic. They've set down 2 of the ramen cups and have a book on top of it. It's Stanislav's method, a book about Stanislav's method that's on top, holding, and the steam just comes out the side because
Mhm.
they've put the boiling water in and it's cooking right now. There's a little timer, but of course the timer is some kind of alien device, so it counts down kind of like the Predators, where it's got the wheel and
Yeah. Love it.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think Theo is used to this and like compromises with it by like scrambling up an egg really quick and then putting it on top of her ramen. In the cup.
Is that a normal thing, or is so Dulce's eggs? What are your plans?
Well, let's see, I have a voiceover gig. And then I've got class. I think I'm gonna go dancing tonight. You want to come dancing?
Yes, of course. I love dancing. Is gravity involved in this dancing?
Not in any unusual way, but yes.
Less interesting. I will consider it. I've considered it. Yes, I will be there. Voiceover work. Are you doing that little pilot for Netflix? Because they'll just cancel it.
I get a paycheck.
You hope.
I get experience.
Experience, yes, but working on spec is not always a paycheck. I've told you, secure these things. You need an agent. I have one.
And once I've graduated, I will start looking into it. But I only need to make enough money to make up my end of this apartment and some food and some fun things.
You set such low standards and goals. Theo, how are you ever going to become a star if you never leave the earth?
I don't want to be a star. I just want to be a good actor.
I adore your commitment to the craft. But still, you've got to go out and get what's yours. Theo, tell me, have you done the 5 questions about the VO work that you do? Remember the character work that we've been...
Yeah,
You have.
of course I did. It was a great idea.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've considered publishing that, but it's too short of a work.
An essay, those are actually quite effective. Remember that some of the most important works in media criticism started out as essays or remain essays that still get bound up and printed. Ways of Seeing started as an essay.
Dulcis picks up the book and peeks in under the flap of the soup. Greatest invention. Rips off the lid. Throws it back. Now, let me ask you a question, Jen. Because if you've said it before, it didn't click in my head. Does Dulcis know that Theo and Shinnok are one and the same?
I actually have not decided this. So,
okay.
Dulcis does know.
Does Dulcis know about Theo's love life?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, clearly, like, we're roommates, but we're also friends. And our living situation kind of puts us on top of each other. So, there's there's only so much that you can hide from somebody in a situation like that without really trying or having like really radical schedules.
Nice. Okay, cool. So Dulcis tosses back the cup and drinks it like liquid soup. Everything just kind of opens, little dribbles down like one noodle, comes down. Perhaps space goblins don't have quite the same manners as humans. You finish,
break out my chopsticks and
break out your chopsticks. You have some of your egg, and Dulcis stops between cup 1 to cup 2 and says, I have to say, I'm fascinated by the level of calm with which you greet this morning. I would have imagined you to be in a state.
And like I finish my current slurp of noodles and I go, why do you say that, Dulcis?
Well, it's obvious that you approved the interview then.
What interview, Dulcis?
Well, you know, your pitiful human technology. Google alerts are very useful, and that one I set up on Shinnok was fruitful beyond measure. And there's the interview that just hit the podcast feed this morning about Shinnok. Wait, you weren't
haven't had
aware
an
of?
opportunity to listen to this podcast, Dulcis.
Ah,
Could you fill me in?
goes over and opens like a little clamshell kind of data pad thingy, and his apologize, misgendered there goes over, grabs the exoskeleton hand, and it opens and splits into a bunch of different things and starts cracking across what looks like a flat surface but lights up like it is different keys on a keyboard. And then a little hollow pops up, and you see the display of one of the like off-campus but college affiliated podcasts that does supers chasing, right? It's like celeb chasing but supers related. And you see that does anyone have any ideas of what this podcast might be named? Is it like Look Up, or does it have some other more salacious name about the wonder that is super powered beings living among us?
How about like So Super, and maybe like they'll sometimes be doing So Super.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Nice. So
Done.
super. Welcome everyone to the latest episode of So Super. We apologize for the audio in this interview. It was captured live in the field. We did our best to clean it up. We hope that you still enjoy the show. The content is excellent. And then you hear the crackling and a bit of wind noise. And the very first thing that you hear from one of the hosts of So Super is Rory McLeod. Tell us about your experience with Shinnok. And you hear a slightly nervous sounding, only because you know Rory, as she starts to talk about meeting Shinnok for the first time. And she talks about the experience of the Johnny Cash Stadium. And then the host says, Rory, I understand that you know who Shinnok is. And Rory hesitates. I do. I says, well, why don't you share with us? Who is it that performs all of these heroic deeds? There's a pause. Listeners will reveal who Shinnok really is after the break. And it starts to go to a commercial about Roman, and then another.
Skip it.
And then it comes back, and you hear a mostly inaudible response from Rory. And then she says, listen, I need to go. And the host says, no, Rory, come back. Well, can we get you back for another? We want to learn all about. And unfortunately, the interview was cut short there, friends, but we're going to continue to cajole Rory McLeod to reveal what she knows, so we can talk about what is so super. Dulce says, I could run some backmasking and decode that to confirm the answer.
Well, you know what the answer is. But do it anyways, because if you think you can do it, other students will think that they can do it. And
Of course.
I want to know if she actually said the name and what other people are going to hear in that. But it sounds like these creeps are just stalking her.
Still, she had to have agreed to the interview.
Yeah,
And you didn't know about it.
no.
Seems like a real betrayal of trust. You're going
By
to
the
sue her?
Before Theo answers that in character, out of character, I'd like to ask, did Rory check in even once about my shark bite?
Your shark bite?
Remember how the shark dude bit Shinnok on the shoulder? And
Right.
Yeah.
No, she's kind of avoided you.
well,
And by kind of, I mean, she's avoided you.
yeah.
She's ghosted you at this point.
Wow. Not going to sue her. Quite frankly, if I did, what are the grounds? And also, if she said something other than my name right there, then me suing her is just saying I'm Shinnok. And I don't think that anybody would be particularly happy with that.
She didn't, by the way.
You already checked?
Of course.
Well, obviously she hates me enough to get to the edge, but not over it.
Wow. I know you don't care about money, but I would sue her. It could be a landmark case. Think about it. How many supers would benefit from having their secret identity hidden? Litigious. You humans love suing each other.
We actually kind of don't, but you're going to be a great producer someday.
I have made and watched a number of legal dramas that say otherwise, Theo.
It does make for a good story.
It does. I'm sorry. I thought you knew. I thought this was the thing. I was hoping it was a publicity stunt.
I don't really want Shinnok to be famous. I want me to be famous.
Do you? Because
I mean, at least
I've
a
got
little
some
bit.
opportunities.
Okay, talk about it.
Do we cut from there?
And we cut from there. Theo's mind kind of like if I were composing this as a page, right? There'd be one wide panel where Dulcis is clearly expounding upon their plans and opportunities and thoughts, and Theo's just sort of eating and listening. And then a couple of like wandering shots around the apartment that go to some keepsakes of Theo's, kind of
Nice.
indicating that her mind is maybe elsewhere.
Tyler, help me remember, what was it that Hearn said to poor young Tony Shaw about how Tony Shaw could reach out to him after she agreed to be his protege?
Basically, to just go to a high place and call his name.
Where are you on campus when you hear that call?
I think I'm in the library.
Awesome. You're in the library, which, well, as a person who has a kid in high school, let me tell you that libraries in high schools are, in elementary schools, at least in Florida and in Minnesota, are very sad things now.
Oh.
Very sad. They are like graveyards. How do you imagine that the library at your college is?
I think that where there's books, there are few people, but where they've got all the computer stuff set up is constantly people in and out and paper being printed, and it's super busy. But actual hard media is sort of a desert.
Nice. That seems right. I vibe with that. So yeah, you hear, even as Maxwell, you hear the strident voice, someone calling out, calling you by name, calling for Hearn the Hunter.
Is it day or night?
It's day.
Yeah. All right. Then I think that, well, I suppose I'm going to. I know that you're not fond of this, Hearn, but I think we're going to have to go and visit during the day.
Of course we must. I gave our word.
Hopefully it's for training. We really should be helping her as much as possible. And I think as I'm saying this, I've gotten up from my table and I've started like going up the stairs, and I'm trying to get up to like a high point of the library, maybe even to the roof, so that I can transform and fly to her.
Nice. And when you come up onto the roof of the library, you see that there's a person there, got an Adirondack chair. They're reading a book, but mostly like out in the sun, enjoying the sun as well. What do you do about that? It's a college student.
Is there anywhere I could walk behind to be out of view, or is it pretty much just blanket open?
Let's say that you could walk behind and be out of view.
Yeah. I'll sort of nod and smile, and I don't know, they may not even pay me any attention as they're busily doing their stuff, but old professor up on the roof sort of thing, as I'll dip around the corner and kind of go to the edge, and as I drop off, I'll transform and begin flying off.
Nice. And I think it's a moment of like, you nod, the person does it, and then they like close their book and they walk over and they look down to see if you just fell off the building. We pick up with Hearn flying through the air, going to where, and Tony's a flyer. So the first time she called, that's a great question. Is there a horn?
I think instead he has kind of his more stealthy one, which is just the baying of the hounds. And I think that like in the day with him being sort of weaked out, we just get that howl of the hounds rather than him giving the full call to the hunt.
Cool. She's flying above the I think she's flying above the junkyard, the place where you first saw her. There's a big mound of crushed cars. Maybe she started off from there, but see, she's above that. And she's called your name. By the third time, you're able to appear. Oh, I was beginning to think that it was.
Greetings, friend Tony.
Greetings.
Are you all right?
No.
What is the matter?
She slowly starts to float back down towards the earth. She doesn't onto the crushed cars, like actually onto the grassless dirt.
Hearn hides that he's kind of glad because it was straining just like all the time. Please tell me.
A couple of policemen showed up. Well, a policeman and a police woman. They showed up at school.
I see. Looking for who caused that man's death.
They didn't question me yet. I kind of ditched, but they've already talked to Clinton and Amy and Tia. They all have powers.
I see.
They're talking to everybody with powers. And Amy said that the murderer had a
Yes.
When he grabbed me, he must have ripped part of my sweatshirt. Or something.
As I told you, you have to decide if you wish to reveal that you did this. Your actions could be forgiven due to the circumstances. But the longer you choose to hide it, the more it will affect your future going forward.
Okay.
Your friend Farah, she was there, correct?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows she has powers, though.
She will need to stand beside you to tell the truth of what happened.
Right. Yeah. I thought you said you'd help me.
I will. However you would like. I will stand beside you as you tell this truth. I will give what statement I can give to these mortal police. Or, if you wished, I could help you try to avoid your responsibility.
What if we found somebody who's really bad? then, you know, they would go and take the fall, right? Take the fall.
That is not justice. No. They will suffer for their own crimes. You cannot transfer yours to them.
Okay. Okay.
However, if you wish, I will lay claim to your crime. But that is something you will have to live with.
Can I think about it?
Of course you can. The longer you wait, the more guilty you will seem. I would not wait long. And we should train. This needs to not be repeated.
Okay. I agree. I don't ever want to do that again.
Well, certainly not by accident. That is a terrible sin.
And there's a moment when her eyes widen slightly when we see the bubble of you saying not by accident. How is it that we see Hearn training Tony for the next little bit?
Is she, I mean, she's flight toughness. She doesn't have, I mean, she's not like a blaster or anything.
Nope. Right now, all that she's seen or been able to do is flight and super strength.
Then I think we see us there in this junkyard, and I think it's just combat training. And it's going over, I think the earliest bit is how to pull a punch, how to decide when you're going to hit someone full out.
Nice. I like that. That's cool. Any moves that you wanted to engage here?
I did, because this is actually kind of what even I was thinking about for my little thing here, was seeing her. Yeah, I'd like a train and reflect.
Nice. This sounds perfect. I was right there too. When you explore the limits of your abilities, roll with power.
So I'm going to roll with power. Do we happen to have any big problem on the a 9? No. 8.
On the horizon, or
yeah, anything we're dealing with at the moment?
Well, other than Hearn and the fact that he was photographed near a crime scene, and there is a like hashtag, like hashtag Hearn did it, I think.
Yeah,
go with a nice, most memeable version of it.
But we don't have any like super villainy we're dealing with at the moment.
Not at the moment, no.
Okay,
unless we want to make one up, and then I'm happy to go there. But at this point, okay, cool.
So I think I'm gonna have to spend a team. A 7 to 9 means I need to spend a team to get off the move.
Okay,
I will do so. And I think I'd like to have the flash of insight, of memory, and intuition, or a ripple of something your sensory powers detect.
Ooh, interesting. And your powers are heightened durability, strength, speed, and flight, as well as energy absorption.
And my super senses, I do have that supernatural sixth sense as well as super hearing.
Well, to keep it contained to here in this scene, and I'll offer you this, and maybe we back our way into which power picks it up. You learn the truth that Tony would fess up to what she's done, but she's terrified at how it would impact Farah. And terrified about how much she would ruin Farah's life for her own sin.
Okay. As we kind of are cooling down, your friend, you're concerned that if people know of her powers, it will change her life. Does she not wish for her powers to become known?
And even though you're right there, she hesitates. She doesn't want anybody to know. She's a Dorfer, a bingo, a love monkey. She has endorphin control.
Oh. You see her sort of look confused as Maxwell works that out and kind of, oh my, that is quite interesting. I see. It is likely if she continues to use her powers, they will be discovered. If she wishes to not be discovered, then she should stop using them, which is easier said than done.
Yeah.
But you should give her the option to tell the truth beside you.
But I don't
Yes.
want to ruin her life, Fern.
You want to protect her, correct?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Then do
I
you
do.
not think she deserves the chance to protect you?
Is that what you do?
Is that what? I'm sorry.
Is that what you would do?
I believe that someone has the chance to be heroic if that is what they wish. All people should have free will. Their sins are their own, as are their glories.
Okay.
If she does not wish to, then you understand why, and I will stand beside you. If she chooses to help you, then you should consider yourself lucky to have such a good friend.
Okay. I should probably go. Thank you for helping me today.
You did very well. You are learning quickly.
And there's this like awkward moment of like, how do I go? Do I walk away? Do I fly away? Do I hug him? Do I shake his hand? She just seems caught in that set of indecision. It looks so awkwardly teenager about.
Hearn will reach out and put his hand on her shoulder and just sort of pat it a bit awkwardly, but Maxwell's trying to ride a little here.
Maxwell's puppet mastering. Yeah. And she relaxes a little bit, like, oh, thank God someone made that decision for me. And she smiles and reaches up to kind of pat your hand back, and then she'll turn, take a couple steps, and leap up into the air, fly away.
And I will turn it off myself.
Nice. And I think it's a perfect time for us to take a quick bio. So let's do that. And we're back. I'd love to kick off with a group scene with all four of y'all together. It will be not long after Hearn, not long after 5.
5 of us.
What about
Is Orchid
you?
going to be there?
We're sneaking in Blue Orchid. Okay, cool.
No,
course.
I was
I
actually
mean, and he's
saying there's
part of the
isn't
team.
Hearn and Maxwell going to be there?
Oh,
Oh, I see. It's a good point. I'll always have to call Maxwell and or Hearn the +1, right?
And Keswick?
Keswick.
Keswick may not be there.
Okay. Let's see. So Theo, where is it that yeah. We guys meet for a bite to eat. So you decide you'll head to Ulu's. Yeah, that seems good. Except Blossom, do you go early or do you arrive late to meet with the others?
I think I wanted a little bit of just time away from normal looking. I mean, not that they're weird looking, but different. I wanted a time where everyone looked different and not human. So I think I got there early.
Nice. So you show up early, and when you go up to the front to order not fries from Ulu, there's a pause, and then Ulu shuts the little door.
Ulu, are you...
Very, very busy. Many orders. Sorry. Come back later. Another time, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sure. I think I don't sit on this in the seating because obviously, I've probably done something, and I kind of cross the street, and then I think I send a message saying to the others, because I guess I'm expecting them. It's Ulu's is closed. Yeah. ...
So,
Yeah.
do you guys all end up going there to meet with Blossom to go somewhere else, or do you say, yeah, meet me at X other place? What do you do?
I think I'll text back something like, meet somewhere else. I got a training basement, if you want to go there.
I want to see Oscuro's basement. This is actually something that I'll text.
I'll text back. That sounds fine. Do you have tea?
I have a water boiler, so tea.
Takeaway.
Yeah,
Takeaway, and I'll bring tea.
sounds good. Yeah.
Cool. So we jump cut or turn the page, and you guys are arriving. And tell us a little bit about this basement.
I mean, this is basically it's in a high rise. It's used to be a very fancy place, but it's gotten a little down, and but it still has a penthouse. But you don't go to the penthouse. You just go into the garage where the bus is standing, actually, and then it has this this training room. It's basically used to be an old boxing ring or something. Maybe it's a bit rundown, to be honest. There's this old poster on the wall. What was the name of the something Goebbels? And yeah, it doesn't look very fancy. It looks used though. There's punching bags, and as I said, there's this training ring, and there are the kind of stuff that you use for strength training and endurance training things. That it's not fancy. Looks really like yeah, well, but it looks functional. Functional is the right word. And there's a pretty neat sound system for some reason. Well, I mean, obviously there is.
Of course, it plays the best sad metal ever.
Yeah, well, yes, it does not play sad metal right now. No, I mean, can't always play sad metal. Also, it's usually Jaskoro who makes his music himself, so they're not actually running. They're just there because you have to, right? For the other kind of training with the sound sprites. So yeah, but he'll let you in. He still looks a bit beat up. It's better.
He's walking better.
He's walking better. Yeah. He's walking perfectly fine. But as I said, you can still see the bruises on the face. Little scratch.
And you're in like casual hide identity,
Yeah.
or yeah.
Yeah, I'm casual because I mean, running around with okay, it's basically the costume is basically a biker jacket and with a cowl and a hoodie, but still, right now, why would you do that in the middle in a building? No, he's casual.
And we know who you are.
Yeah.
We all know who
you've seen
everybody is.
my face. You probably don't know my name. I have not divulged my real name so far.
Okay.
I mean, Blossom knows it. And any of you who have ever Googled the magma thing will probably know, because I'm on Wikipedia. Miguel is on Wikipedia, and yeah, but he has not divulged his identity. He just hasn't. Yeah. One question. I think we know that Maxwell is Maxwell, right? Because if he hasn't heard out, that
he shared his secret identity with y'all.
Mm-hmm. And what about Theo, though?
I'm pretty sure we'd established that Theo and Shinnok everybody knows, right?
So I think so.
We've seen Theo in the crowd and reacted to it.
Yeah.
I mean, but that doesn't mean that we know her name is Theo, though. But yeah, we know what she looks like if she's not in costume.
Sure.
What do you want, Jen?
I'm fine with folks knowing my secret identity within the team. Cool. That seems perfectly fine and valid. I think that Theo would come to this basement as herself and not as Shinnok, because that just doesn't seem necessary. There are times when you want to go someplace as Shinnok because you don't want to create the association. Now seems fine.
Yeah, it's basically just a basement. There is no night watchman or anything. As I said, this is a bit run down for a high rise, but
are you doing all right? You still look a tad.
I was in a fight. I need to do them. I was in a fight.
But you're doing better.
Oh yeah.
Very good. But Blossom, very nice to see you both.
Oh, yeah. I got the food.
Thank you very much.
And I'm like sniffing. What'd you get? What'd you bring me?
What do you think? Atlantean.
Fish. I love it.
I heard that was popular. Got a side order of kelp.
Nice.
And you've settled the kettle, have you, Obscura?
Oh yes. There's the kettle is over there. I'll just turn it on. It's a water boiler. I don't have much here.
That's plenty enough.
I'm looking at
there's a fridge.
Wandering around, like looking at some of the training stuff and just like picking up some weights, just like with one hand, just like big, like the biggest bench pressing weights you could there are, and just like one hand just pick it up and just like nonchalantly
like what's this? How's this supposed to work?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of inspection based
like
lift.
I'm picking up a phone basically,
right.
Or like a baton.
Yeah. Clunk.
Is there any place for us to like sit? Is there a table?
I think there are some benches where you can sit on the table. I don't know. I don't think he has a table. I mean, there is probably a table with stuff on it, but it's not a table you can sit around on. But there are benches on the edges of, against the wall, basically. But you can drag them out
Yeah. I basically dragged 2 benches in parallel so that we can sit on one and put our food on the other.
That's
I've got a table. We can just, it's the kind of table that folds. I've got a folding table. I get that.
oh,
Sounds
I'm
great.
sorry. Not really equipped for guests, I guess.
Do you need a hand?
I've got to. No, it's a folding table. I can't carry that myself.
I will fill up styrofoam cups for everyone. I'm guessing that sort of would be an easy cup that would be around, and we'll bring over with tea bags in, and
Oh, just water for me, thank you.
of course, dear. And pull out packets of sugar from his pocket.
Oh, I don't take sugar. Sorry.
Oh, oof. Civilized. Well, how has everyone been? Lovely training facility. I was training earlier. Well, Heron was training earlier himself.
Cool. Yeah. And Oscar will pull out his guitar and start playing, because that's what he always does. It's not like he's not listening, but he's just
Helps
doing
him
that.
relax, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Theo goes, well, I mean, classes are good. I did voiceover for another CG animation pilot.
Oh, nice. Well, best of luck.
Thanks. And my ex-girlfriend almost outed me on a podcast, so that's great.
Oh,
Your
on purpose?
Seems like it.
Oh.
I have it if you want to listen.
No.
but they didn't.
But she didn't, which is cool. I'm a little irritated that she would walk right up to the edge of doing it. Glad that she didn't.
What did she say about it?
Did you talk to her about it?
You've not talked?
I keep trying to talk to her and she keeps not answering my texts or picking up my calls.
Have you gone to her?
I am thinking about doing that next, but I'll be real. I feel like she's having some kind of a moment about me. And if I go, maybe she'll find that threatening.
Mhm.
Maybe I should send my sister.
You say ex. Did you part unpleasantly?
I mean,
It's an on again, off again thing.
yeah, like
Maxwell.
we broke up as girlfriends and then we made up as friends. And then we went out on that concert.
Oh, she was at the concert with you.
Mm-hmm.
You told me of the difficulties there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I worry that the So Super podcast people are pestering her.
Ah,
All those.
Mm-hmm.
there's a little bit of a rash of people and their secret identities, I suppose. My young friend, Miss Shaw, I mentioned before, who had the unfortunate incident that night. Her companion friend is also powered, and well, I'm afraid that Miss Shaw is going to be turning herself in for the unfortunate death.
Oh.
And her friend might be somewhat reticent to provide a solid witness due to her hidden powers. Hearn is determined to go and stand threateningly there beside her to provide some sort of reassurance.
Yeah, the police will be dead reassured by that.
Well, they sure like power and intimidation. So who knows? Maybe they'll love it.
Fair.
But wow, that's tough. Is there anything we can do?
Yeah, I personally have no one that I'm familiar with in the police force, and Hearn generally only has people that really dislike him there. If you happen to know anyone that could shepherd her through this process, that would be lovely.
Nah, police don't like me either.
I know a couple of campus cops. That's not really useful.
Yes. We as a group have rarely worked precisely with the police.
I've
And
worked on the police, but they didn't like that either.
Yeah, my only dealings with officials is with the KTC. So,
Well,
But
I
You
mean,
know.
my dad's a lawyer. I could always.
oh, now that would be most of it. I had thought about some sort of legal representation. Would he be willing to listen to this sort of case?
I can always ask.
That would be most helpful. And
It will certainly be a step up from her having a public defender,
yes.
but he might say no.
Yeah.
But he might say yes.
Well, I've got a lawyer too, but they're in. They do different stuff. They do tax law and things, but they might not be able to recommend if your father says no.
Theo, please, if you would inquire. And as to your trouble, do you think she's doing this of her own free will, or do you think that they're perhaps using some sort of pressure on her?
I don't know. I think that they might be.
Well, perhaps we could look into that discreetly, or
I can send some of my spirits to listen to some conversations if that's what you want. I don't usually do this for non-criminal people, but sure.
All right. I'll look into this podcast and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
and I know it's difficult, but you probably should. If you can't get in touch with her, you should at least try to see her.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I should.
think while you're getting some like just vague from Blossom, because I think she's actually using her tablet to try and do a little research into Ulu and see if there's anything going on, because she's a little bit worried about. It's probably just something that she did, and she's at fault for some reason, but maybe it's not.
Now, there was one thing that we skipped ahead on, which was your appointment with Dr. Hanson. The itching did abate after your fitful night of barely any sleep. And when you arrived at the clinic and he checked out the area, he saw that new growth was there, but he was unable to, you weren't able to give him anything other than descriptions of what it felt like last night. Yeah. And he found nothing.
There's no just the new growth.
Just the new growth. That's it. And he gave you the general, I don't know, but I'm going to make up a thing of the new growth potentially causing some pain, and maybe he gave you some kind of topical experimental topical anesthetic, but yeah,
Does it have any effect?
With like a little sprayer.
Yeah.
yes, little spray, and it doesn't, like, you haven't been burning, so maybe it will help. Maybe it will.
Yeah.
It won't.
Yeah. I'm totally not bringing that up to the group because I mean they got proper problems going on.
Right.
That's just
Exactly.
And Theo, if you wish, I'd be more than happy to accompany you for moral support. I don't know if that would help at all.
I appreciate it, but I think I can handle that alone.
and now I mean I don't have a secret identity, so if you need a superhero to, ask them politely to, stop harassing Rory, I could talk to them.
I mean, realize that the So Super guys would be really excited to talk to you, like really excited.
Yeah.
That would not prevent them from hunting down Shinnok, would it?
No, it might distract them from thinking about it for a while. And, I find that people like this, if you tell them, oh, don't look into Shinnok, they'll be like, really? What's interesting about Shinnok?
I mean, I could
Oh,
tell them about
yeah.
that god that
That we trounced, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That could be cool. Like I said, you would be an excellent distraction. And I'm going to think about it, but I want to talk to Rory first. After I've spoken to her, I'll see if those folks need to be handled or not.
You say Uru's was closed.
I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm like, then very quickly, just like awkwardly
Somehow.
trying to close the tab on the tablet.
Doing
was
renovations.
They were closed.
Well, not exact. I got there and then he closed the kind of blinds, the grill on his booth, and then I don't think he wanted me to be there, and maybe I did something. I don't know, but maybe it's not that. Maybe he's in trouble. I switched the tablet back on to and it shows that I'm like
Yeah, that's
looking
pretty.
at local news from the Little Mars district.
It's pretty unusual. Ulu's always sort of been pretty down with you.
And I didn't think he slept.
Interesting. Huh.
So.
Well, Ulu's also a guy who's really understanding that I don't know whether or not he has ears, but idiomatically he has an ear to the ground. He always kind of knows what's going on in Little Mars. Maybe there is some heat.
Oh, we should look that up. I mean, I like hanging out at Ulu's. They never mind me playing.
And the fries are, pretty good.
I can't
And
eat
they
that.
got the ketchup now.
And now they've got ketchup. Everything is going uphill from here.
I've asked about salt.
I believe I got a lecture about them needing to be in some kind of like protective container. Apparently, according to like a quarter of the alien species who visit, they're like, wait, they put NaCl, they put a chlorine-based compound in a shaker and they just shake it on their food.
If I was like, kind of investigating this through just the internet, would like would it unmask someone, or is that more of like a person-to-person interaction type move?
What do you think, Jen?
Mm,
I'm being lazy and asking the designer.
uh-huh. Well, I'm right here, so the opportunity is just front and center.
Too tempting to resist sometimes.
Oh,
Uh,
in B plot territory.
So I would say that it's fine to not do it face to face, but there needs to be some kind of an avenue for this move to be turned back on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Makes
mean?
sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So basically, there needs to be some way for Ulu to be aware that you're making this probe. Maybe not at the same time as you're doing it, like maybe you're going on his Yelp reviews or something, and you ask some kind of Yelp question,
Oh, yeah.
and then Ulu
There's
can be like,
forums
Blossom, is
and
that
such.
you? You know, like
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
And that I think would be fine. Because I don't think
I
that
put
this is a
out some
cloister.
feelers on some chat rooms and forums and such.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I
on
don't.
Mars.
Under an anonymous account type deal.
Yeah, but I'm sure my like totally unconnected to me name that I just come up with in the moment is like, wait a second.
Blossom
Blossom? Yeah.
Flavidi.
Glossum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. It could be closer to yourself in research as well. That is another possibility, I guess. But if you want to do the question and answer, that sounds fun.
I like the idea of the one that's I've not rolled the unmasked one, so. Because I want to know what they intend to do and what they were really planning,
Nice.
and actually, yeah, the what do you want me to do is also, yeah, humanity, and I got a +2 on top of my 0, so.
3
Just to
people
work sure
trust you right now.
You're doing
Yeah.
unmask? All right.
Yeah.
I like this
And
one.
you're overburdened.
Oh, and it went really well.
Oh, that's a 5. It looks like the dice want you to have
Oh.
XP.
Oh, and when you're overburdened on a hit, your target will ask you one of the following.
Oh, yeah, but it doesn't say what you're overburdened and you miss.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, when you're overburdened and you miss, you just get the miss. Your life sucks enough.
Yep, just a miss. Sorry. Sweet. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. Let me take a look here. And it's unmask someone. And you reach out, Yelp on a forum about Little Mars, and you find after a bit of searching that there is a forum that is used by new arrivals. And so there's for lack of a better term, a universal translator, and a lot of the idioms of alien speech are lost. So it's very basic. It's imagine if you've seen the movie Enemy Mine, like it's just a little bit above pantomime level of communication. Very basic. It's kind of a, how do I get this necessary thing? How do I take care of this particular thing? And it's a lot of bot automated stuff that works through the universal translator, and you just end up on there because you found nothing on Ulu's site. You found nothing on the scuttlebutt. As far as Little Mars is concerned, it's Ulu's is still the greatest. However, you end up on this particular forum and you find a new arrival who is asking about, do you remember that particular touchstone that you have, who someone from Little Mars, that holds your infection sacred since it's the last of their planet's
I
ecosystem?
think it was just a small group rather than one individual. But yeah,
Yeah, it's a
I
new
didn't have
arrival. It's a new arrival from that
Hmm.
particular group that is asking about you. Not as Blossom. They don't know the name Blossom.
Hmm.
They just know the last roots. But you realize that's
Yeah,
you're who they need.
I've been approached by the Ulus. Well, last time at least I got approached, Ulu was pretty good at kind of diverting them away from me.
And I think
Mhm.
being spoke of as a thing, that impacts your confidence. So I'd like you to move your confidence down by 1.
I feel like I'm like, as I'm like scrolling through the messages, I'm like, probably my other hand is absentmindedly fiddling with something. I don't know, probably breaking something up obscure's training room.
Nice.
Just one of those circle weights that you put on the end of a dumbbells and just bending it slightly. I'm frowning.
Did you find something?
What?
You were looking, I believe, into something.
Yeah. Well, there was nothing about Ulu, so maybe I need to go talk to him, check upon him. I don't know. But no, I didn't find anything about Ulu.
Do we
Yeah.
think we backed into a putting the pieces together move?
Oh, right.
Ooh,
Nice,
You
yeah.
could.
Mm-hmm.
You certainly could.
Mm-hmm. We could do that.
And it would give us a nice insider lead.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot
Yeah.
of things on the table to be
Mhm.
interested in.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose theoretically we'd have to decide who kind of has called the meetings, since they get a little added in there. But they also might have to use team, and I have none. So it wouldn't be me.
I think I have lots of team. I mean, I have lots of team left because I didn't use it for anything. So I can do that.
Yeah, you invited us here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
True.
were at your place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
All right.
Okay. So let me look at where is it? It's not, it's B plot move, right?
It
Yep.
is.
There it is. Reach out to know, put the pieces together. Okay, team meeting. That's me. And I asked one of these questions. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think I will ask Blossom, obviously. Or no, I will ask Shanak. And I will ask you what do you remember? Can you tell me something about Ulus that I might have missed? I miss a lot of stuff, so something that's not that obvious.
Ulus is really tied in with the Little Mars community.
Yeah.
But Ulu's also the kind of person to keep their head down. So it could be possible that Blossom hasn't done anything, but Ulu sees some kind of heat about to come down on Blossom and doesn't want to be there when it happens. So that's my answer. And next, I guess I'll pick somebody else to ask the next question to. Let's see here. Awesome. What would make you do something like outing your ex-girlfriend on a podcast?
Well, I mean, you'd only do something like that if it was like somebody's life was on the line. You wouldn't just do that just for your own gain. That, I mean, who would do that? It's, yeah. It would have to be a life and death situation.
Okay.
To betray someone like that. So what makes, I mean, is it okay to spread out? I mean, like, I think Theo's question was kind of,
I mean, I think you
all our
answered.
mysteries. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so Maxwell, what makes insert name of NPC that I've forgotten the name of important to you personally? The one that's Kern is training.
That's good. Well, I think Hearn sees someone who would carry on his vision, and I think he was insulted that they didn't have control of their powers. He also isn't particularly concerned with their means of stopping someone from committing a crime. In per se, it's really just the lack of control, I believe, that bothered him. I think he likes her. To me personally, well, I think that I think she needs help, and she could be a terrible danger. She has killed someone, and I think it's important that she own up to that. And if we could prevent it, if after the law takes its course from happening again, then I think that that's something that I need to do. It's also kind of interesting to have her like someone. He doesn't like many people.
He can be quite extreme.
Yes, he can. All right. So ask another. So it's me to ask the next. Everybody goes until someone's asked. So once I do this, we've all have asked, right? Then I think I'm going to go with. I think we're going to go to you, Theo. Just because your question being quite pressing in my mind a little there. What are you most worried will happen next? But I mean, you say she chose not to reveal it. Will she just avoid this sort of thing going forward? What's the worst that could happen at this point?
Yeah, I'm worried that these podcast people will either badger her until she reveals my identity, or that they've got some kind of leverage over her that they're going to utilize to hurt her. Pretty worried about that.
Have you had to protect her before? I mean, she's aware of who you are.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up together. She's a smart girl. She usually knows how to take care of herself, but I'm bigger and stronger, and I don't really mind having a bloody nose. So once or twice I might have had to step in to do this or that, but I'm not particularly always watching her back. She's capable of watching her own most of the time. And then somebody yells at me for getting in a fight. You know, I get a lot less of that now that I'm Shinnok and I'm supposed to get in fights. So.
And I think that answers me out. So, question of spending a team if you want, Obscura.
Yeah, I think I spend a team, sure.
Oh, you get to ask me a question directly. And we have a number of plots because I can't help myself. So I'm curious what you'll ask me.
Will that be before or after you reveal
that's
something?
true. I reveal something. So I guess I have to choose one of these plots to reveal. Yeah. This newcomer is why Ulu is laying low, is why your touchstone is strained at this point. Because yes, Ulu is a good being, good-natured, but also does not want to get the people who come to their establishment in trouble. And your presence is trouble right now. Because this newcomer wants to cultivate the ecosystem. He's not satisfied with their last ecosystem just existing on you, and they will take it.
Is that like in the messages, like the conversation?
You dig a little bit that eventually it is pretty clear that this being is here to reclaim a piece of their home.
So we get to ask a question then, right?
Yep, you get to spend a team and ask a direct question.
I have spent the team. So what kind of question do we want to ask? Because I don't have any balls in the game anyway, so I throw it to each of you to ask a question.
We get one.
Yeah, I know. We just get one. You'll have to figure out who wants to ask about that problem.
Want to know more about this cult group that's coming after Blossom?
Yeah, what else do they do in the Little Mars area? Like, what are their activities like? What are they known for?
Yeah.
What's their vibe, man?
So their vibe, sans newcomer, is that they create, they have a type of technology akin to 3D printing. So they're kind of the Sanyo technology if it okay, good. Tyler got me there. Sanyo is like you go to a bargain place here in America and you want to find a TV and you don't want to pay much, then you might pick up a Sanyo. And Sanyo is notorious for not the greatest quality, but has the bits, the newer bits, because that somehow they just are able to add in those pieces of technology. But whatever you get is not going to last nearly as long as a top of the line thing. Does that make sense?
And what is it they want to do? I'm sorry, I got lost with the Sanyo thing.
Great question. So yeah, that's what their vibe is. Their vibe is that they're here to learn technology and use their technology to copy or ape it and sell it. They are not, they worship Blossom from afar, but seem to have no nefarious plans like this newcomer.
So he seems more of a fanatic.
Yes.
So we're getting a pardon the pun, splinter group that is looking more towards taking pieces of you.
Yeah, I think I would like slide the tablet over and like, I mean, should I be worried? I mean, and like turning the tablet around so you guys can read the conversations that are in the forum.
Oh. Perhaps we should have a word with this person.
Are you worrying?
Could one of you come with me?
Of course.
Yeah, we can come with you. Sure.
Thank you.
Would you mind if we did it in the evening? I'll sort of smile and sip my tea.
Yeah. I think I would like to like kind of get obscure, just talk to one side and like, is it okay if I sleep here tonight? I if they're looking for me, I don't want them following me to Nana's.
Yeah,
I
sure.
don't want to trouble her with my nonsense.
No, it's fine. There are some mats that you can sleep on if that's okay.
Whatever, floor, anything.
I can get some blankets. There are some blankets here somewhere.
It's not needed. I can barely feel the temperature.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't have the same body temperature that we do, right?
I think I have basically I'm room temperature, I think.
Yeah.
I don't, my body doesn't really generate heat that much.
There's not a lot of heat spurs on you. That's no.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, then you can sleep here. Sure, I'll set on some spurs to watch out for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Cool. So Blossom sticks around in Oscuros and Maxwell. I'm trying to buy time because I know Jen needed to step away.
I suppose that I will, after we have our little meeting, I'll head home. If we're going to meet up, I'll say whatever you'd like. Just give me a ring, and I suppose that my friend, she's sort of deciding what she's going to do. I'll drop a line whenever I know more about that.
Cool. When I did my NPC reorganization, it looks like I may have misplaced the 2 professors.
Their picture?
Yeah, well, the picture, their names. I don't know if they had pictures. I don't
think they had pictures.
There's Professor Brumby and other people.
Yeah, Brumby was Actually, Sabina
I-
introduced that character.
no,
I'm
I
talking
think that
about.
the background characters from.
Oh, I think they're under characters for her, and that's where I found them. There we are, Augie and Professor Highgate. There we go. Nice. So, Maxwell, you're heading back. Is Maxwell the kind of person like, no, Maxwell doesn't have an answering machine. So then you get a text. It's from Augie. And he says, hey, Max, we are going out to a film festival. And
Very
Amanda,
nice.
Amanda wanted me to ask if you wanted to come along. That's what the text says.
I'm looking at the.
It's tonight.
Huh. Did we decide we were going and doing this evening, or were you? I mean, Blossom, you sounded like you were bedding down.
Well, I think it was more like for later that she was going to stay the night.
But we are
Yes.
thinking of trying to find this person this evening.
That's what we said we were going to do.
Seemed like it. That's the
Yeah.
that's the reason I'm throwing this complication to happen tonight.
So I will text back. I'm terribly sorry. I am otherwise engaged, but do give my best. And I hope you both enjoy it.
Of course. Of course, I'll let her know. We'll miss you. Probably she more than I. Ha 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 ha. I'll tell you all about the movie.
I'm sure you will. Thank you, Augie.
And Theo, how is it? How do you spend your time from the get together with the group to going out and hunting for this newcomer? What do you do in that intervening time?
Well, it's an intervening hunt because I need to talk to Rory.
Awesome.
Feel like I really can't or shouldn't take any further action until we've had a chance to clear the air.
Cool. So let me check in with the group about how much time, physical, actual time, does everybody have? 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and just as a check-in. Because
For me, there's no stress. It's
Okay.
No, it's fine. I'm not
the
that
bank
tired.
holiday or whatever equivalent tomorrow. So
I'm
So
good
half-
for 30 more.
Okay,
Yeah.
so a half hour.
30 more
Good.
is fine.
So we're not going to play the full 30 because I definitely like to do there's post-game stuff and then Stars and Wishes. So we'll probably go for like 2 more scenes, I think, just to make sure we all have the right. Awesome. So Theo, do you go as Theo to Rory's place? Rory was not dorms, she was apartment, right? Or I can't remember. I'm so
I mean,
sorry. It's been a
I'm
month,
an
so-
apartment and not dorms. I don't
That's
think we've
right.
established this at all.
She's in
So,
dorms. I want
she's in
dorm
dorms? Ooh,
scenes.
all right.
We're doing this much college. We got to have a dorm scene. So dorms.
I'm going as Theo. It's a lot easier to look inconspicuous in my student duds.
Sweet. So you go
Um,
in. It's one of those.
Just one question about the
Yes.
time frame, because I'm confused here, because I thought that the whole we do the blossom thing, confront him, we would do this right after we've talked about it and we would just go out. But if you
Sure,
are
we
going
could
to
do
talk
that.
to Rory before, are you then doing this
No,
parallel
she's
to
only
us,
going
or-
to. That was my choice. I understood that it was afternoon meeting.
Oh,
Then
okay.
you guys were going
Oh,
because
I get it.
Tyler,
Oh, okay.
as
Yeah, okay,
Maxwell had
okay.
said, can we
Yeah,
go at
okay.
night?
Okay.
That's why I
yeah,
thought there was
okay.
time passing.
That is okay. Then it's time passing. That's fine. That
Okay.
just clears up the confusion. I thought we were in the evening already.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, I should have done a better setup. But yes, all right. So Theo, I'm imagining this is modern college dorms, so co-ed. You're able to come in. You are a college student as well, so you make your way right up to her door. She's like 316 is her dorm room number. You hear, Alex, what kind of music is Rory listening to, or what's emanating from underneath the door that is playing in Rory's dorm room?
Just because I was listening to it earlier, I don't feel like dancing by Scissor Sisters.
Nice. That is playing. When you knock on the door, you know that Rory has a roomie she can't afford. She's here on scholarship. She can't afford that.
Right. Right. A single. I mean, even if you can afford it, even if you're paying your way, you're not getting a single.
No.
Not on your dorm year. Once you get it out to an apartment on your own, you're probably still not having a single, but maybe you will if you have enough money. So yeah, does her roommate answer?
No, she answers. There we go. I had to search for Scissor Sisters to have it playing in the background so I knew what kind of mood she's in from the music.
I mean, I feel it could be I'm trying to overtake my mood and supplant it with this song's mood, but
cool. So there's this. Yeah, it's a kind of pop song that's very upbeat, almost got a Eurovision style to it, and it's not Rory's normal style. So when she answers, her roommate's in the back, sitting on one of the two beds, and she sees you.
Okay.
Hey, here to gloat?
About what?
Well, you took down So Super.
What?
They got hit by a DDoS. They've been down all afternoon.
That was not me. Right now, I'm here to ask you if So Super is bothering you. Which, hi, Marcy, we can do here, or we can do out on a walk.
I'll be back later. She reaches down, snatches up her boots and steps into them and steps out and doesn't bother with the lock or whatever because Marcy's there.
Right. Like, man.
Do a quick like panel to where now the two of you are walking out. It's afternoon, so it's sunny out. She's doesn't have her leather jacket on, which is normally her default attire. And she says,
I'm wearing a tank top. It's sun's out, guns out.
Nice. Yeah, they hounded me and I eventually agreed to just talk to them, and I'm sorry, okay? Just you didn't have to sweep in and fix it. I was going to take care of it. I didn't name you or anything.
I know you didn't. I'm happy that you didn't. That was good pullback. Because that would
mad at you.
Why are you mad at me?
You've been lying to me our whole lives.
I've only been Chinook for like a month. You never asked me, hey, is your Aunt Sorsha actually a fox woman?
A month?
Yes. Well, a couple of months, but you know what I mean.
Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought basically you've just been Shinnok all this time, and I'm just some idiot who never figured it out.
Oh, wow. No,
So
I
now I'm
mean,
just a 2 months ago idiot. Fine. I
yeah,
can live with that. I
I'm like
guess.
sweeping around on my phone and I'm like showing her a picture of Shinnok that's obviously like in her 40s.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
you're
totally
smart.
not you. Yeah.
That's totally
okay.
not me. You're smarter than that.
Okay. So I guess the old person died and made you the new Shinnok.
I mean, you wouldn't be asking this question if my auntie had died. You would know that she was dead. She's just retired now.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah,
I
there's
thought that was figurative auntie. You mean actual living auntie. Your actual auntie. That's her in
yeah,
the crazy
my
get up.
this is my aunt Sorsha.
Oh. Oh.
She's
Still
just a curvier later.
So you knew
lady
about
than
this
I
the
am.
whole time. Then you did. I'm back to mad.
Okay. I don't. How was I supposed to tell you? Oh yeah, in my family we have this magical baton of honor that we pass around.
Pretty much like that.
Okay, well there it is.
Little late.
Told you how we emigrated and how that was kind of difficult for our family.
Right.
This is a part of that.
Okay.
Because my great grandfather, no, great grandfather.
I'm leaning towards mad at you again. Not really, but I don't know how many greats. Okay, fine. So
He killed this British lord who was into sorcery, all right, and then had to reach out to some of the local spirits for an opportunity to leave the country.
wow. And so now you have to be Shinnok? That's the baton?
That's the baton. The payment is that we bring the Shinnok forward with us where we go.
So you never had a choice.
I mean, I kind of did have a choice. My sister kind of thought she would be the Shinnok. But
Oh my god, and you like talk to the Shinnok to steal it from her like all Esau?
no. But my aunt was like, I'm going to try to see if Theo will take it up. And I was like, well, okay, fine.
Wow, your sister's got to be pissed at you.
She's a little irritated, but also kind of happy that she doesn't have to, do this and can focus on her career. It evens out. She needles me a bunch about whether or not I'm worth it,
Okay. So back to me.
Back to you.
Yeah,
Are you
so
safe
Super
right
hit
now?
me up. Am I? I don't know.
Okay.
These guys they're on campus. They followed me around. They kept asking. Like, I blew them off, but I don't know. They just figured that I knew. Like, they had footage of us, like me in the stadium, and they could just. I guess I don't know. I thought I was a pretty good liar. I mean, come on, Thee. Like,
You're pretty good at it.
right? But no. And then they're pestering me, and I'm like mad at you, but I'm also wanting to stay away from you because
Because you
then-
think that maybe someday I'll eat you in a way that I haven't eaten you before already?
Well, more like if you've got this secret and they're chasing me around and I show up with you, then they'll chase you. But okay.
I mean, it's kind of better if they chase me, isn't it?
Okay.
Because they're trying to find out about me, not just a me stepping forward and taking care of your problems for you like a big damn hero, but you know.
Right. That's what I thought you did with the whole DDoS thing.
No, I don't know how to do that.
Oh,
But I
I
have
thought maybe
someone
that was a
who
Shinnok power or something. I don't know.
Oh no. Shinnok does fox things. That's it.
What even are Fox things?
Cool sensory powers. You get some trickster powers based on your own ability, kind of.
Okay, cool.
I can look and sound just like anybody that I'm familiar with.
Neat. Can you do
Yeah.
me?
I mean, of course. I look around like,
You guys are like walking underneath some trees. You've taken a sidewalk that really cruises along the campus, and you're pretty much by yourself.
yeah. I mean, I'll do a partial one and lean in and be like, you mean like this?
I don't sound like that. She totally sounds like that.
You totally sound like this. You don't in your own head. If you ever do voiceover work, get ready to feel like that constantly.
Oh my God. I was on that podcast and I sounded like an idiot. Well, I guess nobody's going to hear it now. I guess. I don't know.
I guess. It's that's very weird. It's very weird that they're self-hosted too.
Right. Okay, I guess I forgive you for lying to me for a couple months.
Okay. A couple months when we didn't see each other because it was dead week and finals.
It sounds like you're looking for an excuse when I've already forgiven you. Feels
I
like
am.
wasted effort.
I am.
Just enjoy my magnanimous benevolence.
I need to
and-
bask. I'm basking. I'm basking. Okay.
All right, cool.
All right.
Okay, I guess we're cool then.
All right.
I'm not Lois Laning this shit. I'm just telling you. I'm dealing with you, Theo. And the moment that someone damsels me, I'm out.
So that means that I need to go bother these podcast people. If I did that, would that piss you off? Would it make you happy?
Well, we're talking about it, and you swear you didn't do the attack on
I
their,
swear I
because
didn't
their
do
whole
it.
shit is down. Like they are.
I swear on my right, I did not do it.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I'll sick my Sinnock on them.
Okay. They're about to get foxed.
Nice. That's good. Is that like one of your catchphrases?
God, that sounds so cringe, though.
I mean, it's got like a golden ages charm in a way.
Kind of. Oh my God, the costume is so old.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but oh
I
my
don't get
God,
any say in what the costume looks like.
you need to work on that.
I don't even know where to start.
But
also, it's so classic.
It is.
Timeless.
You look like my grandma, kind of, sort of hot for grandma, but still grandma-ish.
You ever see any photos of your grandma when she was, our age?
It's weird.
It's weird. They're all like, it's kind of gratifying to be like, oh yeah, my grandma was hot, but it's also weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always feel that way. when people tell me that my mom and dad are hot, I'm like, ew, leave me alone.
Your dad can get it.
And he has like that scar from that. Actually, I want to throw this at somebody else. Tyler, my dad has a charming and jaunty facial scar. Where did he get it?
Ooh.
Who I think would have been fighting up against the a team when he was dealing with, let's hit a good one, in the late 80s, and they against a villainous team called the Quiet Riot, who would do emotion enhancement to make riots around them.
Nice. Yep.
Question: was your father actually one of the kind of wielders of the Shinnok?
I don't think he was, right. It was the odds.
Cool.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was an odd. He was not. He was passed over. However, I mean, this is comic books, so maybe he was for
He's
like
totally
a
a Jimmy,
weekend.
or maybe he's
or-
like Jimmy
Or he
Olsening
did
it,
something
you know?
else.
Yeah, maybe he was
Doesn't
Jimmy
mean he's
Olsening for someone else. Maybe he was just a
Caught up in the
bystander,
riot.
caught up in a
Yeah.
riot, just kind of like that. And
That's great. I
yeah.
love it.
And he's a big man, so he probably accounted pretty well for himself.
Note to self: flashback to 80s fight against Quiet Riot.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Cool. So yeah. Yeah, my dad has that Quiet Riot scar on his face. It only makes him look better.
Right. Your mom is still painfully hot, so it's the cross you bear or something.
Yeah, I'm like the ugly duckling of my family. When will I blossom?
Speaking of Blossom, and then we'll cut there as she asks questions about Blossom, who she saw at the stadium. Cool.
Good cut.
Yeah. And I think well, I thought we might have one or two scenes. Maybe we don't. So I think we'll kick off next session with you guys going after the newcomer, if that's okay with everybody. And we'll do our end of session stuff. Yeah. Let's see. We have questions to ask. If you head to the B plot moves, starting on row 69, dude. We have end of session. At the end of the session, take a moment to reflect on how the events of the game went and what big changes happened or seem to be on their way. Each of you will get to choose a teammate and ask them a question. And I don't think we're at the end of a larger story arc, if that's okay with everybody, so we'll forego that. Kind of at the beginning of a new story arc, like a new volume, as it may be. So we'll start from the left-hand side of the character keeper, heading towards the right, which means Oscuro, you get to go first. Choose a teammate and ask them one of the questions.
Can I skip this? I don't feel that I had enough screen time this time with the other teammates that I could ask this question reasonably, if anybody actually, because it was all about the others, and I don't know. I don't feel, no,
Okay.
I don't feel like doing that today.
Okay. All right. We'll skip ahead then to Blossom.
I'll unmute while I'm still thinking. Okay, how did my actions this session affect the community? Yeah. Yeah, well.
Who are you asking?
Maxwell.
Maxwell? Is that who you asked?
Yeah.
I'm terribly sorry. Will you repeat the question?
How did my actions affect the community?
Community.
Or I guess my presence.
Probably
My
not
existence.
even. I suppose this isn't terribly positive, but I think that especially in that community you feel more comfortable in over there in the district, I think that they're worried. I think that having this sort of strange fanatic, not to mention a weird cult that has at the very least been a little better before now, has them on edge. And I suppose I shift, don't I?
One of my tracks.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's take your trust down one.
That seems the obvious from your answer, yeah.
All right. And now we move on to Hearn.
Yes. Let's see. Jen, how did I affect the team?
How did you affect the team this session? I mean, I think right now the team is a bit more focused on Blossom's issue, but I think that you still brought an interesting moral quandary to the team. And you're making us sort of think more about ourselves and what we're doing. And you were also very like Hearn right now is a little challenging, and Maxwell is very accommodating, right? Like very forthcoming, and like you're kind of both pretty forthcoming with help and support for the team. But I think that Maxwell's going to get more credit for it, just sort of because it's not fair, but it's what's happening. I think I'm going to shift your confidence down one.
Shift confidence down one. Alrighty.
I've already done that for you. So.
Oh, did you?
I did. So you should just stick around at one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that. It's maybe a little presumptuous. And then let's see. I should ask somebody. Blossom, how did I affect you this session? I'm just gonna point that there.
I mean, I feel like your problems were like actually quite a welcome distraction, and they kind of let me, at least momentarily, just like, you know, maybe unhealthily have a different problem to focus on.
All right.
Yeah.
For a second, I was kind of thinking that that you weren't really connecting with my problem, but I guess that you don't need to connect with a problem to use it for escapism.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
I'm gonna put your confidence up one.
All right.
I can do that for you. Yeah.
Please do.
A brush in hand.
My hands are in fact occupied.
Which one did I say? I said the one. Yeah.
All right. That brings us to the non-mechanical stars and wishes. We start with wishes so we can end with stars. I'll go ahead and stipulate that I didn't do a great job of bringing everybody together, and I do think there was some work that I could do on spotlight sharing, so I apologize for that, and we'll definitely work on it. Who'd like to go first with wishes?
I'd like to see next session some, subdividing of the team for a few scenes, little, two player scenes, I think.
Okay. We're going to start off with a group thing as you guys deal with the newcomer, but I'll definitely keep that in mind to try to pair folks up. Anything else, Alex?
Some fisticuffs or physical altercations of some kind. Because
there will be.
We're superheroes. We wander around, fights happen.
Fights will happen. Absolutely. I'll do my best to grant that wish. Cool. Thank you, Alex.
Oh, one last thing.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind seeing more of the I don't know what we call it, the Atlantean mafia that lives in Little Mars. Even if it's just, flavor to the atmosphere of Little Mars, but I would like to see them appear again.
This is all going to take place, like the fight with the newcomer will happen in Little Mars, so I'll do my best to try to grant both wishes. The Atlantean mafia. The exiled Atlantean mafia. That sounds good. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe perhaps those shark guys, and you have a problem. I guess that's your problem. I don't have anything to do with it. All right. Who would like to go next for wishes?
I would like to have a scene with Blossom before we start out. Is that
okay?
If that's possible.
Absolutely. Anything else to be? Okay. Cool. Tyler or Jen, do you have any wishes?
I'll hit mine, or you want to go, Jen?
You go.
I kind of want to come out to Mrs. Caldwell. I want to have a little bit of that of the house of the Maxwell at home sort of thing, and I'd kind of like to have Mrs. Caldwell know, because I think Maxwell's in a little bit of a moral quandary with all that's going on with Tony and all that.
Good. That sounds
and
awesome.
Bite. I want to bite too.
All right, Jen.
Let's see. I want to team up with a Skiro. I want there to be some problem in my life that's like an Skiro shaped hole that I can put an Skiro shaped peg into.
Nice.
I know that Skiro volunteered to use their sound spirits to spy on the podcast folks. And I need to remember that was a thing and utilize that offer of assistance because that seems interesting.
I see a skewer as definitely if you want to intimidate somebody and also you don't want like the building to be demolished. It's like you want to intimidate, do you take Hearn or Oscuro? Do you want the building still standing?
Yeah, like what level of intimidation are we talking about here?
Nice.
And I think I could level a building, but I wouldn't usually, because there are usually people in it. So
usually that's the rub when it comes to demolishing buildings.
I would definitely threaten to demolish a building.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's part of what intimidation's all about.
Yeah. I will threaten a whole lot of stuff that I would never do.
But then you don't do it.
Yeah, people don't know that.
Right, exactly. Getting in their head. Other wishes. Yes, I too thirst for fisticuffs, and let's see, what else was I thinking? Well, I mean, clearly I need to talk to Zajic
Mm-hmm.
probably about things.
Why would you want to talk to Zayd? That's interesting.
I don't know. I happen to know a villain who's really good at hacking, and some party that I'm vaguely interested in just got hacked. Not really hacked, but you know what I mean.
Uh-huh.
Hacker methods were used to inconvenience them.
It's true.
And while coincidences exist, I'm not a huge believer in them.
Fine. That tracks. Cool. Any other
That's about it.
wishes? All right. You went last with wishes, so you get to go first with stars. Do any stars stand out?
Stars. I think the NPC work was, as usual, really good this session.
Thank you.
I think I put it in chat, but I'll say it again here. I could feel the gap in Dr. Hansom's communication with Blossom, where some warmth and some personal touches could go. And just for that lacuna to be so tangible, just really got me. I was like, oh.
Nice. Thank you. I'm glad.
He's being such a good doctor, but also
its bedside manner leaves something to be desired.
Just a little bit. Yep. Let's see, other stars. I liked getting to be in Oscuro's basement. I enjoy Oscuro's testy but available hospitality, where it's like, yeah, I can have you over. That's cool. I'm not used to having people over, so I'm not 100% ready. No, I don't need help making myself ready. That was fun to see. I like the return of Maxwell's little social drama and crushing and other things with Augie. Whenever that comes up, it's very lighthearted. And very like, ooh. And poor Blossom's painful self-blaming and just the way that her warped perceptions play out was really well done. And that's all my stars.
Thank you. Then we'll jump up to Tyler. Any stars out there for you, Tyler?
Yep. I thought that it was neat to have the NPC one-on-ones all around. I liked kind of all of them or where they led. I liked Obscuro and the mentor because there was care. You could, they care about each other, but they're not good at talking to each other. They're both irascible people. And I thought that scene showed a lot of both of them. I thought it really did. It was neat to delve into. Blossom dealing with being put out of the restaurant, but to see your vulnerability from the pullout from that was just amazing. It is heartbreaking to watch Blossom feel terrible. It just, you want to just like wrap your arm around her and it's okay. It was heartbreaking. And I loved Theo and the ex. I thought that was also a really interesting look into a long friendship and relationship between them. It was comfortable the way y'all played off each other. It was just really, I thought it was swell. Yeah, I thought it was well. And I actually enjoyed kind of the informalness of the little round table. I thought that was fun. It was nice to see Obscuro's little training layer. I think that's cool as well. I could see Maxwell wanting to bring housewarming gifts over to warm the place up a bit.
Obscuro just being like, I've been here for years. What are you doing?
Wall art does a ton. And a nice throw rug.
He actually hasn't He actually hasn't been there for years, so
Oh, okay. Okay. So maybe a housewarming is warranted.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
And those are my stars.
Thank you, Tyler. Then we'll jump up to Sabine. Did you have any stars?
Yeah, sure. I like the conversations, the round robin scenes. That was fun, and yeah, I like the scene we had in together with the group to have a group scene. I also love that. I like having group scenes with these guys. That was fun.
Cool. Thank you. And then Alex, bring us home. Did you have any?
Yeah, definitely. I absolutely loved the Isadora Oscura scene. The bitiness of the interaction and the kind of the Oscura's grumpiness and Isadora's just instantly calling bullshit on any response from Oscura, and also bitiness from Isadora as well. Yeah, like it's definitely felt like a really reluctant mentor relationship, but like
Kind of like a big brother, little brother
like,
kind of thing.
yeah, it's like Oscar needs Isadora. Isadora said he would do this. It wasn't like they hate each other. Like I felt like a warmth underneath all this bitiness, but which I think also came through nicely, even though they were so against each other. I really liked Dulcis's mannerism of speech. You really quickly kind of had a voice, like they felt alien. I like that. That came through really quickly.
Good.
Yeah. I think a lot of the other things are dittos. I'm sure there are other things.
It's okay. That's a-okay. There's no quota here. Well, I quite enjoyed getting back into playing with y'all, and I look forward to seeing bringing those plot threads that I dangled out, bringing things together, more action, and fights and fisticuffs and superpowers. It's gonna be fun. Looking forward to it. Thank you all so much for playing, and thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time around.